welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. So I was reading an article today from Patty Trainer, and I thought it was interesting enough to bring it to the family and we can have a discussion. The article was about whether or not the New York Giants should pick up the fifth-year option for Kayvon Thibodeaux, saying that the New York Giants have a decision to make, a big decision to make, and it actually is a pretty big decision. Now, we already know that Evan Neal is also up for his fifth-year option to be picked up. We already know that's not going to happen. But when it comes to Kayvon Thibodeaux, I'm not really sure which way the Giants are going to lean. Now, I've seen rumors saying that the New York Giants are leaning towards picking up the fifth-year option, but I wanted to ask you guys how you guys felt about it. I want to share my thoughts about it, and without further ado, let's talk about it. So if the New York Giants decide to pick up Kayvon Thibodeaux's fifth-year option, that will guarantee him $16.1 million. $16 million guaranteed with that fifth-year option. Now, of course, if the New York Giants decided not to pick up the fifth-year option, Kayvon Thibodeaux will play his fourth year, and then he will be a free agent at the end of the season. Whether they decide to re-sign him during the season or let him walk for nothing or trade him for capital. The whole point is if they don't pick up that fifth-year option, this upcoming season is the last year with Kayvon Thibodeaux. Now, if you pick up that fifth-year option, it still might be the last year with Kayvon Thibodeaux if you decide to maybe trade him, with the fifth-year option on it. But I'm really thinking about the stats and the numbers when it comes to Kayvon Thibodeaux. And you know what I had to do? Had to get the handy-dandy notebook and look to see what the numbers are for Kayvon Thibodeaux. Let's go ahead and throw up the stats. So, in 2024, Kayvon Thibodeaux's grade was a 69. He ranked 58th with that grade. His pass rush was a 72, ranked 35, or 35th, I should say. And then his run defense was a 65.6, and that ranked 69th. Now, listen to me. Those don't sound like the numbers of a $16 million edge rusher. And if you're paying that man $16 million in 2026, that means you're also paying, Brian Burns another 20-something million dollars in 2026. So you're talking about a lot of money for two spots on the defensive line. And when you add on Dexter Lawrence's money, it's just a lot of money to pay. And if you're not a contender, it seems like too much money to spend on guys where you're not getting the production that you should be getting. Now, his numbers are up from 2023, but also down from 2022. So in 2023, he had a 58.4. His pass rush grade was a 62.9, and then his run defense was a 52.3. And the funny thing about all of this, when you look at his overall grade and his run defense, his best year was in 2022, and people had a bunch of question marks about 2022. In 2022, his overall grade was a 71.9. His pass rushing grade was a 67.9, so it was lower than what he had this year. And then his run defense grade was a 70.1. So I remember people complaining about Kayvon Thibodeaux not having the spark or the impact his rookie season that people expected in comparison to guys like Aiden Hutchinson and stuff like that. But you fast forward to 2024, some of his grades were actually better in 2022 than they are in 2024. And again, he did not play the whole season. He missed some games with the wrist injury. I understand that. But when you're looking at the snap totals and things like that, is it worth paying Kayvon that $16 million or picking up that $16 million option? So what I do, I started digging around a little bit. I wanted to look at some of the edge rushers, that are roughly getting paid around the 15, 16, 17 million dollar mark, just to see how they pretty much, how Kayvon adds up to those guys. So one guy that I found was Alex Highsmith from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And let me throw up Alex Highsmith's numbers. So Alex Highsmith in 2024, and again, he had some injuries this season as well. His overall grade was an 89.5. His pass rushing grade was an 89.7, and his rush defense or the run defense grade was a 79.7, and he's making $17 million. So you got Kayvon Thibodeaux making $16 million if we pick up the option versus somebody making $17 million, but you look at the grade difference, and we're talking about 20 points when it comes to overall grade. 69 for Kayvon Thibodeaux and an 89 for Alex Highsmith. So when we just talking about math and we're talking about projections, Is picking up that 5th-year option right now what the right move for the New York Giants? For me, I will say no, but I think that the New York Giants are between a rock and a hard place. They can't keep having these guys seem like failures, their draft picks seeming like failures. And guess what? Kayvon Thibodeaux has shown some flashes here and there, but it has not been consistent. But there's a lot of things that you can do to try to excuse that. One thing that I would like to say is that, you know, a lot of these other teams, the defense, especially when it comes to these tackles and these sacks and stuff like that, the New York Giants rarely play with the lead. Rarely play. When a defense is playing with the league, they can pin their ears back and rush the quarterback. The New York Giants really never had that going for themselves this season, or any season that Kayvon Thibodeaux has really been here, outside of, you know, the first year when we made it to the playoffs. But I'm still thinking, like, man, if the defense was better, if we played to the strengths of the players. I remember being upset with Wink Martindale dropping Kayvon Thibodeaux back in coverage in 2022 and 2023. And then 2024, you know, it was more pass rush sets and stuff like that under Shane Bowen. But still, the numbers are not where you want them to be. So I'm going to ask you guys, because I already gave my opinion. I said it doesn't seem like it's worth it for $16 million. What do you guys think? Is Kayvon Thibodeaux worth the 5th-year option? And here's another thing. Don't expect any kind of hometown discount. If we decide not to pick up his 5th-year option and he balls out in 2025, he's not giving you a hometown discount. This man already lets you know that it's all about the money and it's all professional. It's just a business when it comes to the NFL. Now, would the New York Giants love to keep him? I think they would. But how much is it going to cost you if you don't pick up the 5th-year option? So the Giants are really in between a rock and a hard place. They really do have to come up with this decision soon. I believe they have to have it in the next couple of weeks before the league year starts. But at the end of the day, I want to hear from you guys. Is Kayvon Thibodeaux worth the 5th-year option, or worth his 5th-year option being picked up? That's my question to you guys. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section down below. But that's going to be the video. I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.